So here we have the front end of our EcoDocSense application, and on the top you can see in the header we have the title and 3 different links, one for our research paper, one for the API documentation, and another one for to the Green Software Foundation. In our front end we have 2 key components. One is viewing results for sample documents, and these are the 5 documents that we have already run our pipeline on and generated results for, and a user can see these results straight away without having to run the whole pipeline if they would like to just see how the results look like. But then we move down to the main component, which is analyzing a new document, and here you can upload a file and analyze it and kickstart the true analysis process. Before we move on to that, on the bottom we have a section with the categories that our green practices are categorized into, and these are resource optimization, data efficiency, performance management, security, and user impact. So I will now continue by uploading a document. And as you can see, this document is now ready to be analyzed. And now we are on the analysis screen. You can see that the results are for the Dropbox architecture document, which I just uploaded. On the top right, you can see that there is now a timer running, which says analysis in progress. And below that, we have a progress indicator, which shows which stage our tool currently is at. So we are currently at the chunking document phase, and this will be followed by the retrieving context phase, and finally the generating response phase. And this can also be viewed when someone clicks on the green icon. And so yeah, we are just currently waiting for the results to come in, and these results will be streamed one by one from our pipeline to the front end. And here we have now received our first response from our pipeline, and as you can see, the progress bar has increased. In our bar graph, we now have 1 practice within our resource optimization categorization, and we also have a pie chart here which shows the distribution of practices within these 5 categories. And now you can click on this pie chart, and you can click on the tab, and eventually there'll be 5 tabs for each of the categories, and you can see the questions that have been asked already. And here is a detailed breakdown with the practice, query, explanation, result, and suggestion. And so the practice is simply the practice that the developer could use to improve sustainability within their design, and the query is the practice formulated as a question. The explanation is the answer from the LLM on why why it gave a decision on whether the certain practice is being followed or not, which is also indicated as a simple yes, no, not applicable response within the result. And then in the final column we have the suggestion, which will show, as you can see, for this optimized average CPU utilization, you can see that there's a suggestion here on how they can improve, how they can implement this practice in this case, because the LLM determined that it was not. And yeah, so we're currently on 18%, and the results are still streaming in. Yeah. So finally we have reached the end of analyzing the document, and now in place of the progress bar we have a download report button, which allows the user to download the final output of our tool, which is a sustainability report. So I'll go on to download this. And as you can see, I've opened the sustainability report, and it starts with a summary of what the sustainability report is about, so that the user can understand understand the report. And we have a table of contents under that, and then we have the same categorizations that we had in the home page as before, with an explanation of what each category is. Then we have our overview page, which shows how many green patterns were followed in total. So in this case 13 out of 45 were followed, and then we have a breakdown within each of our categories as well. And followed by that, we have the same graphs that we saw on the front end analysis page as well, and these are exactly identical. And then followed by that, we have the improvement plan, and this is a plan which shows which practices were not implemented within each category, and it firstly gives a number how many were not implemented, so 14 improvements identified, and it lists all of these improvements and does the same for each of these categories. And then we reach the query by query breakdown part of the document, where we will have for each query whether the pattern is followed, whether it's not followed, or whether it's not applicable, all marked by these 3 icons you can see on this overview page for the analysis part. So this is the first query, and you can see that the query is being displayed at the top, followed by the category that the query is under, and the pattern that the query is about, followed by the decision from the LLM whether the pattern is followed or not, and followed by a suggestion, which is not here in this case but will be in other places, and an explanation for why the LLM gave that particular decision. And as you can see, this is done for all 45 of our queries, and for example, here's one where the practice is followed. So, and then also on the front end now you can see that there are 5 different categories, and all the results are present on the front end. Thank you for listening.